Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our channel. This week we are trying something different. We always get a lot of people asking us what is our favorite place to go to, and honestly, we've been blessed to see some amazing places up in Africa or locally in South Africa, and it's always we've had great experiences in Africa. So we thought we would talk a bit about a few of our favorite destinations in Africa and destinations we love visiting in Africa. I've got Christine with me here today.
Hello,
How are you doing today? You good?
I'm fine, yeah, thanks.
All good, all good. And yeah, we thought we'd just have a bit of a chat of our favorite destinations and just magical places we visit in Africa. There are so many. I mean, we can actually name every single one that we've gone to. But yeah, for the sake of the video, we'll try and keep it a bit brief and just name a few great highlights of the places we visited. You also love Africa and you love traveling there.
Yeah,
And which, if you could start us off, then which one would you say really stands out to you? Which place in Africa?
a place that maybe is not, I can't really say what is the best place in Africa. Like Robbie said, every place in Africa has its own uniqueness, and on that moment is probably the best place you've been to. But a place that really took me by surprise was Angola. We were very fortunate to be able to go to Angola. And in my mind, it was a war-torn country, and I just had grey and dull in my mind, and I was completely surprised to see the beauty of the country. Um, the, there's a lot of places that we saw that was absolutely amazing, like the Kalandula Falls. I don't think few people actually know that there's that beautiful falls in um, Angola. We drove and slept in coffee plantations. The markets are beautiful and vibrant and colorful. We've been to Pedras Negras. Um, we've been to Barra de Dondu, where all the fisher boats are beached on the beach. And it's you can't explain that to somebody. You have to see it and experience it. These are unfortunately not that easy to travel to Angola all by yourself. I think we wouldn't have seen half of the stuff that we did see if we went all by ourselves. So we went with a guide, and we went with Jaco's Adventure Tours, and he was absolutely amazing and showed us places that took my breath away.
Yeah, that's one journey I didn't join, but it looked amazing. The photos and the videos just that's coming from that.
The diverseness of the country, the Namib or Namib in the southern parts, and the almost subtropical green places in the northern parts, that is really beautiful.
I can imagine that must be one epic experience seeing
It,
all that and
it
traveling.
was.
And then, yeah, as you said, it's always been a bit of a difficult country to travel to. I think it's still not easy. Would still recommend you go with a guide or someone who at least knows the area quite well if you're planning on doing a trip. But yeah, definitely worthwhile to go see. Uh, if I look back on the photos and videos you guys brought back. For me personally, I've always had a very special connection to the Makgadikgadi pans. We've we visited once on the back of quad bikes, and that was an awesome experience driving into those vast empty pans and just on the back of a quad. And we spent the night there just sleeping on a bedroll, and then you really get that incredible empty feeling or that feeling that you're pretty much one of the only living organisms for kilometers. Yeah, it's a great feeling, and especially at night, the place just lights up, and you've got millions of stars that you can see, and it's one place in the world where you can actually see the curvature of the Earth, which is really amazing. Um, and the stars literally come down to the horizon. It's something incredible just to experience these open vast salt plains. And then last year we went to Kubu Island as well, and then to see this island of the big baobab trees in the middle of these pans and driving up to it and all adventure leading up to it. It's a great place for me to go visit the Makgadikgadi pans. I really enjoyed it. I must say that was a great place.
I must say, Kubo Island is the one place that I would love to go back to. I loved that nothingness of it. And that links to the southern part of Namibia. I always I'm always the one who said, please God, we go back to the southern part of Namibia because Sossusvlei, Dead Tree Island, Solitaire, it's just that where you can turn 360 degrees and you're the only person around. You just see nothing. And then you drive there in a different time of the year and it looks like green hills. We were fortunate to see that as well, once or twice if it's a good rain year. And then Swakopmund, which is a complete different side of Africa. It's a vibrant holiday town where the desert meets the ocean, which is also quite something to
Yeah,
experience.
Swakop is always a special town to us. So we always try and stay a few nights in Swakop if we go up. It's just been a special. We've got a lot of special connection to Swakop. That Swakop, that image that you always get is almost that image of the waves crashing onto the dunes. It's incredible, and you get those real Namib dunes right next to the ocean, and they're also great to go explore. And that's just a nice town as well. And it's always a bit of a rest day or two when we have a trip in Namibia. Would be at Swakop, and we would, of course, visit all the restaurants we can.
And do fun things like
Yeah,
quad biking,
go
Robbie's
quad
favorite.
biking or something like that. No, definitely, that's Swakop's a special place. But I mean, even just in Namibia, um, there's so many stuff to see, and as you said in the south now, the Socials Fly and Fish River Canyon and the Kolmanskop, if the ghost town, if you're in Lüderitz area, definitely could do that. That's definitely worth doing. And then you drive up, and it's incredible all the places. I'm probably going to be forgetting a lot of places as I sit here, but and then you can even the beauty about Namibia, especially in that sense, is like you said, people who are scared to go into Namibia or scared to go into Africa, to travel into Africa, you can literally drive from Cape Town or Joburg or Durban, a toll road, to Etosha National Park, where you could have a African holiday, if we call it that, and go
Oh.
game viewing. And
And if you sit long enough next to the water at Okukuyu, you probably will see everything.
you're bound to see
Yeah,
something there.
yeah.
We always see something there. And for yeah, it's definitely it's doable. You don't have to go extreme overlanding or off-roading to see these places in Namibia. I think most of the times you'll get bad gravel roads, but that depends on season to season and how many tourists have driven over it in a
And also
small
what
town.
road you take. You can choose to take the gravel road. You don't necessarily have to take it.
Yeah,
I always say the more I go to Namibia, the more I can go for a longer time to a smaller area because there's such a lot of beautiful things to see, like the Keukenveld and
yeah,
the Wambeland. The Keukenveld almost similar to the southern parts of Namibia with all this open spaces and red drum and blue drum, which is literally just a drum, and that's a waypoint that is on
Van
a map.
Sales Pass back in the day when we
Yeah,
used to do Van Sales Pass. And even if you then go a bit further north, you get to Ipupa Falls, which is probably one of the
but
most beautiful places on earth.
beautiful place, absolute beautiful place. I always feel calm and peaceful when I'm at Ipupa Falls. And
Uh,
then the different parts of the Kunini, we had the privilege of driving up to the Kunini mouth, which is also a concession area. And we did the dune drive there. And just to stand there at the mouth of the Kunini that I've seen so many times in different parts of Namibia. And here we are at the place where it runs into the sea.
goes into the
That
sea.
was an
Yeah.
epic moment to me.
No, it's beautiful, and yeah, Namibia is a great country. I will always go back, and I think you'll always see something else. And then you can explore the coast as well. We haven't necessarily done that as much as we should explore the coast up, but you can do that as well. It's a totally different side of Namibia. And then another part of Namibia really love going to is the Caprivi. The Caprivi
Yeah,
is a beautiful part of the world to me. It's almost a tropical feel you get when you go in there and spending time next to the river there, doing some tiger fishing. There's a lot of places you can do game viewing, and most of the time the elephants will get you before you get the elephants when you're driving along the road. It's an incredible place to go to. I really enjoy the Caprivi. I can go there
all the time.
all the time. It's really a great place. And then if we move over the couple, if you just jumping the border, Chobe is
Oh,
also
that's your favorite place.
an incredible place.
Mm.
It's sad to see what the elephants are doing to it at the moment. It's you can see it's not the Chobe. It's not that lush green, amazing place I experienced it the first time. But the elephants and the problems they have with that, you can understand that. But still, an amazing place. I mean, last time we went down there, just taking it. Always one of our favorite stuff to do there is to take a boat cruise down the Chobe River, and we saw lions, we saw buffaloes, crocodiles, and you see a lot of interesting bird life that you don't always see from the from the from the
Car.
from
From a
the
car.
car, yeah. And you the hippos a lot, waterbuck, and then obviously what the game you'd see on the land as well. Even saw elephants swimming across our boat. That's incredible. You can't explain that to someone. That's something you have to experience. So yeah, Chobe, I really enjoyed the Chobe as well.
There's different other places in Botswana, which is also very nice. Rhino Sanctuary is always special to me to visit. That's always a stopover for us. And I know you like the Moremi.
Maremi is also beautiful, and the wild of the Maremi I enjoy. It's where you're literally still camping in camps, but the lions and the elephants are still walking past you, and you've got to be on the lookout for that.
Hyenas.
And they we've had a lot of stories of them as well. I enjoy that. That's more my style, being really just just in the wild. But Maremi is beautiful as well. They're in the delta and all that. It's incredibly beautiful. Maremi, one of the things I would say about Maremi is you've got to pick your time when you go. I think in a very, very wet season, as they are having now, you're in for
Fun and games.
fun and games. Because you're going to do a lot of river crossings and a lot of water and a lot of mud. But if it's your thing, it adds to the fun. So, yeah. No, it's beautiful. Botswana is a special place as well. I
And
think.
if we cross over, did you see the big falls, which
Yeah,
is
I do go
also
up there.
an amazing sight to see. We've been privileged to see that in dry season and in wet season, and it's complete different things. And from this, but the Zimbabwe side and the Zambia side, it's two different ways of seeing it.
There's
So
a lot of
that's
debate of whether it's more beautiful from the Zim side or Zimbabwe
yeah,
side. So that's always the locals always try and get you there.
yeah.
Yeah, and but Zambia, we've also gone up to Lake Kariba. Is beautiful. It's something else that you don't expect to see.
And all the fishing boats on the if you go on a sunset cruise on Kariba and you see all these fishing boats catching the capentas, if I'm not mistaken, that also gives a special feeling to it. And
I enjoyed the Kariba as well. Also nice for tiger fishing, and it's more of a like a tropical resort, laid back
yeah,
feel.
yeah,
Just watch out for the crocodiles next to the beach,
yeah.
but there's many signs that will remind you of that. But yeah, no, Kariba I enjoyed as well. Um,
Then if you go up to Malawi, well, that's one of the places where I can sit and just watch that lake forever and ever and ever. It changes, the face of the lake changes all the time. It's vibrant, all the people doing their fishing and whatever, washing and whatever in the lake. And then we also went out on a boat and we saw the fish eagles where they catch their fish. That was quite a special thing. But it's one of the few places where we could actually just sit for a couple of days and just wind down and relax. And that was a very special thing to me as well.
I think I also I missed that trip, but it also looked
Yeah, it's
very
something that you
special
can do.
to go
Yeah.
up to Lake
It's far,
Malawi.
but it's special.
Oh, well, if you've got the time.
Yeah.
And then speaking of far, I think one of the trips is probably the furthest we've been away in Africa up north is the Serengeti and Gorgoro crater.
Yeah, we were privileged to be able to do the
We did
crater.
that. We did it a long time ago. That was something amazing. I mean, Serengeti, all those wildebeest and zebras and wildebeest and zebras that you can see for literally kilometers far coming on. I don't think you can ever describe that to someone how
I
that looks.
recall standing there and thinking, I can't take photos of this. I must just keep it in my memory that I can remember this forever and ever and ever.
Yeah, the Serengeti was incredible, and there was just abundance of wildlife, if I can put it that way. Yeah,
That's true.
we literally saw everything. Um, actually, it was my birthday when we were there in the Serengeti, and we still made a list in the back of the book that what we saw that day, and it was almost 2 pages.
Yeah.
We saw lions, we saw a cheetah kill.
We saw cheetah kill, we saw leopard, we saw tree climbing lions, we saw buttaleer, eagles, elephants, a breeding herd of elephants that stood right around our car. It was just amazing.
That was incredible. That really is like almost the Garden of Eden if you go in there and if you want to see everything. And the Ngorongoro crater was also very, very nice to see. It was special to see driving down the crater, and you will see a great amount of game there as well. That was great.
First time I saw a buffalo in the wild.
No, it was awesome. Yeah, Africa has great places, and we should visit them all.
Yeah. And in our own country, the Makgadikgadi will always have a special place in my heart. There's nothing like seeing lions in the Makgadikgadi, but also a Kalahari sunset. Nothing beats that. It's
I'll argue Namibia sunset. I think Namibia sunset.
Okay, we can have a vote on that one. I think, but a Kalahari sunset and the red dunes and the Gemsbok standing on the red dune looking back to you, that is an absolute epic view as well.
Definitely it is.
Yeah.
It is.
And the meerkat, don't forget the little meerkats that come to your
It's almost like a whole civilization on their own.
Oh, yeah.
No, there's some special places. There's also a few great places we still want to visit.
Also, I think everybody should at least drive Sani Pass once. You weren't there, but I enjoyed that quite a bit.
That's quite a legendary thing to do.
And Swaziland's also beautiful. Easy country to visit.
I would almost say underratedly beautiful, if I can put it that way. I didn't expect it. It was really, really beautiful. It was actually nice to visit.
It's a small country, and it's also easy to go there. We stayed at Mwani and at Shlani, and we saw the rhinos at Shlani. But it was just a nice feel, and it's lovely, friendly people. And there's also nice markets for a bit of shopping.
The glass factories there, and
the
golf courses, the Royal Swazi golf clubs there if you want to play golf.
Yeah, so you can diverse your tour a little bit.
Swaziland's really, it was, as I said, it was almost underratedly beautiful. It wasn't something that on that trip was supposed to be the highlight, which turned out to be the highlight. Trip. So.
And we've been there a couple of times, and we've once spent the whole holiday in Swaziland, and we crisscrossed the whole Swaziland not in a 4x4 on that time. Yeah, we're not going to discuss that.
Yeah. Is there any other places that still stands out that you?
My mind is racing now. You know what was also not a bad trip to do was the western part of the Panhandle when we went up to Trotsky's.
Oh, Sodili Hills.
Yeah, and Sodili Hills. That was also an interesting trip.
Well, if we take it closer, just driving the Namibia National Park is also a great destination to go if you just have a few days to get away and you really get away from everything there.
And it's wild camping, and
it's a great place to go. As I said, places we still want to do trips. I think we desperately overdue for a Riftersveld trip, to be honest.
That we must do. And Mana Pools, Zimbabwe, we haven't seen anything of Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, we can explore a bit more. I agree. Central Kalahari we're doing this year, so in Botswana.
Yeah, so hopefully we can tell you more about that.
And the Transkei. I mean, that's a beautiful part of South Africa that we just drive through, and I wouldn't mind just spending a bit of time in the Transkei.
We always say that we want to do that, and we never get to do it. So we neglect our own country.
We do a bit. That's true. I mean, if you go up north into Natal, there's also some beautiful places along the coast.
So many things to do in so little time.
Yeah.
And
then, of course, the Kruger. Kruger is a beautiful place. I think the Kruger is just a bit too busy for us, to be honest.
Yeah.
But nothing. It's a great place. It's very very busy, and we enjoy a bit more being on our own and
But
doing
there are
our own
bush
thing.
camps. We've been you haven't joined us, but we've been to bush camps in the Kruger, which was also quite special with the hyenas
No,
walking next to the
it's a
fence
great
every
destination.
night.
The Creator is an awesome place to go. It's also one of those that you can drive tar road
Yeah,
to get to a place and have
yeah.
your safari there.
And another thing on the bucket list is Adu.
Adu, yeah, well, we've been to
Uh,
Adu many years ago.
yeah, but I would
Let's
like
go
to spend
revisit
more time in Adu. And don't
revisit
forget the
Adu.
garden route, eh?
Oh, the
The
garden is
garden
great.
route is beautiful. We've done a little bit.
Yeah, I've done a lot of golf traveling the garden route, but not so much
Yeah,
camping. But yeah,
yeah.
it's a beautiful place. No, there's so many places to go, and there's so many places, so little time.
So little time to do it.
No, definitely. Yeah,
But I think the message is go into Africa.
yeah, go
Africa is
enjoy
a
it.
beautiful country. It's safe. Don't be stupid. But I think
If you
people
can survive in South Africa, you can survive
but
in any other
anywhere.
African country. But just do your research, do your planning, and go visit Africa. Honestly, it's and the great thing is you'll have a different adventure every day. You can be on the same place and you have two different adventures. That's a great place thing about Africa.
That's true.
Um, yeah, I think that's everything I've got on my mind. I know
Yeah.
you've got something
No,
else there.
I think we've been privileged to do a lot in Africa,
We
but
have.
there is the more you see of Africa, the more there is to see.
Yeah, we've also just to add on, we've also been up Mozambique and to Zanzibar as well. But we'll be honest, we're not really
Water
water
people.
people. So that wasn't our biggest highlights, but also beautiful places and great destinations to go visit. But it was we enjoy being in the bush more than being at the ocean. Um, yeah, no, I think that's everything.
That's would wrap it, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you for watching. We always appreciate it. Yeah, we thought we'd try something different. The campsite reviews will come soon, and the travel vlogs will come soon. And happy camping. Until next time.
Bye.